Well, I'm since you're forcing me to go live. Who's up? Anybody up? It's almost midnight. Anybody up but me? I gotta put a mask on. I gotta get all this makeup. I gotta sleep. Hi, Tamika. Hi, Tamika. Who is up? Who is up? Y'all up? Tamika is at work. Okay. Sherry is here. I hope. Hey, you guys. Hey. I just came from the Whitney screening, but I am not talking about the screening yet. I'm going to talk about it tomorrow. But tonight, since it was kind of late, I wanted to just come through and just, have a chit chat before I take off my clothes and scrub my face and do all of this jazz. I haven't even took off my shoes yet. It was good, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about why I keep my circle small. Y'all saw my date tonight was Derek J. And I had posted a picture of me and Derek on Instagram, and somebody said, did I get a friend contract before posting it on my social media? Y'all are funny. Y'all are hilarious. Squad in the building. Yes, I just think, you won't see me with a whole lot of people, especially like on social media or Instagram or any of that. Well, Instagram is social media, but I don't do it. And I'm sorry, I'm trying to unzip my sandal. I don't do it simply because, in this business that I've been in for 10 going on 11 years, I just realized that there are a lot of like hangers on. There are a lot of people who befriend you because of your access and because they know that you know certain people. And it just gets to be a little bit tiring. You know what I mean? Like I talked about when I had like interns and when I had assistants and how they would just like use my name, to go places. And the crazy thing is, I always tell y'all, like, I don't think, I'm that much of a big deal. You know what I'm saying? But I do have, a lot of access around the city. And, people have found a lot of times people will use my name, people who just happen to be with me on social media or whatever back in the day, will use my name to get access. And later on, somebody would be like, straight from the A, straight from the A covered this, that, and the third. And I'm like, well, straight from the A cover that at? Like, I'm trying to figure out, like, I wasn't there. And who else, pray tell, would straight from the A send to cover something if it's not straight from that? You know what I'm saying? So that's happened a couple of times, and I've actually had to go on social media and publicly say, if it doesn't come from Michelle Brown, it is not Michelle Brown. You know what I'm saying? And it just gets to be, I don't know, again, a bit much. And I know if y'all were on the call over on the other channel, somebody was like asking, you put all these people on, you need to start getting a friend contract or getting it in writing before you put these people on. But, I'm kind of like JayZ in that regard, because it's like, if everybody around you broke too. So if I'm on the come up, if I'm doing something that is, clearly earning me a living, and people who are around me, some may be lost, some may not, or whatever, you rub off on each other. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really feel like, nobody necessarily owes me anything but loyalty. And I hate being lied to, but that's a whole nother story. But it's just really hard to, keep and hold on to friends, especially in this industry. So when people look at me and be like, oh, she with a different person, she this, she that, child, I mean, here's the thing. I'm not trying to connect my brand that I built 10 years strong with anybody, whether I've known them for a year or 2 years or whatever. This is my channel. You know, if I set somebody else up with their channel, they got their channel over there. I got my channel over here. Even Derek, like Derek has his own brand. I don't want to be associated with Derek's brand. You know, Derek was on TV and all that stuff. So, you know, it's just interesting how, you know, people constantly asks me about people that they see. Like, you know, we can talk about Joy, we can talk about, you know, everybody. So yeah, you know, your circle's so small, you talking to yourself. That's how I start to feel, because again, I could go back to the situation, like even about my townhouse and how, you know, that situation occurred. And just because y'all saw me out in the streets with a particular person, y'all made it seem like that was the only friend I had and that person knew all of my business. That's never the case for me. So, I mean, you know, just know, just know that, you know, I do have a small circle. I do have girlfriends. I do have people in my life who support me, who care for me, who, you know, have my back on all things, like all things. Like I was talking the other day about like even my house and how, you know, I was stressing out about that, and how, you know, another friend of mine pretty much came to my rescue about that situation and has been helping me. So, you know, just because I don't see people on the camera, it's just a whole lot. So, you know, I've been, you know, feeling some kind of way too. And I don't know if the people on this channel were on the other. I did a video earlier as I was preparing to go to the Whitney Houston screening. And we were just talking about the screening and talking about the documentary and things. And you can go over to the ATL Alien channel to watch that. And when I took calls, one person called in and was asking me, you know, all these questions, and why don't I get a friend contract, and why don't I do this? And then I started thinking after the fact, like, damn, you know, like people really do, you know, will soak up your knowledge and use you and kick you to the curb and this, that, and the third. But it's like, if I'm giving it away, then so be it. But, you know, I just feel like it can be a touchy situation sometimes. Oh, thank you. I got my makeup done earlier, and I know it's a little. I was like, I just want my brows done and stuff, and he just made me photo shoot ready, and I didn't even do no photos. I didn't do my baby hair and stuff. So I looked hurt when she asked me that question. No, I wasn't hurt. It's just reflective. Because like I said, you start to like really start to think like, dang, you know, people do get close to you for the wrong reasons. And then when I start to see certain things, I pull back. That's the kind of person that I am. So, you know, you're about to do a Derek Blanks photo shoot. I actually already done one. I've done 2 Derek Blanks photo shoots, by the way. I never even put the pictures out. I love Derek Blanks. He's awesome sauce. My baby hairs laid. I thought they was a little bit nappy today. No, she didn't make me second guess myself. AC not yet determined. It's just, you know, it's some things going on, and there's some things that I've been paying attention to, and I'm just like, you know what? You know, she had a point. You know, some people can see things I can't, and I do, you know, allow people in. You know, some people say they don't want to be in front of the camera. Some people say they love playing the background, and then they get in front of the camera, and you know, it is what it is. But you know, I can't fault anybody for soaking up the knowledge when it's right in front of you. Like my granny always said, insects are drawn to light. So at the end of the day, like, you know, people do what they do. People are who they are. Age discrimination can be against young people too, when old people don't want to do. What are we talking about? Everyone can't go with you on your journey. You're exactly right. You're exactly right. You show people public platforms another way. I basically, you haven't missed anything, Susie. I was just coming in from the theater and decided to pop in and say hello. People will get close to you to put, you know, I'm just a type of person. I just would like to think, and I know it's just a false sense of reality to think that people think as you think. But man, if I could tell y'all stories that I'm not going to tell right this very second. But yeah, I just noticed sometimes I notice a trend, and it's all good. The trend is good, but most people, a lot of people do what's best for them. You know what I'm saying? And if that means shitting on you, if that means talking behind your back, if that means lying to you, then they do what's best for you. But my problem is I'm just a little bit too honest. I'm too honest to y'all. I'm too honest to my friends. I'm too honest to the people around me. So and so when someone lies to me or someone shows me that they aren't on the up and up, I immediately take offense. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm honest, I expect other people around me to be honest too, especially when they are around in my circle. That being said, I, kind of, Zills and I was talking about this too, because I try to live like in a sense of isolation in that, especially like online, because I never want to give anybody the power to make up lies about me like the other person did over on, Funky Dineva. I say whatever. But, and so, when that happens, because y'all saw him and y'all saw him around me, it like gave him credibility. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, he's around her, so what he's saying must be true when it wasn't. So it's just kind of a weird space to be in, especially when, my job is social media. The things I do are online. My credibility is at stake. And so the last thing I need is to have somebody or people think that I'm tied to the hip to someone. And then they go, talking to people and lying and saying things that aren't necessarily true. You know what I'm saying? So there we have it. These are just trials. It's a cleansing process. Trust me. I pray for the Lord to order my steps, remove my enemies, and I started losing friends. You know the old saying, the sayings. So at the end of the day, like I just try to be the best person I can be. I try to walk my path. I try not to, fuck up nobody. When I meet somebody, I leave them better than they were when they got with me. So, I just don't hurt people. That's just how I am. That's the type of person I am. So, if you've ever crossed my path, if you've ever been a friend of mine, if you've ever been in my space, whatever that may be, trust and believe, they have benefited. So why do I have to be talking about anyone? I'm talking about in general, how it's just important to keep. Sometimes it's important to keep yourself, isolated. It's important to keep especially like I always tell y'all about my business, my, being a blogger, building relationships, fostering those relationships, the importance of my credibility, all of that. Like I'm not gonna risk any of that for anybody. You know what I'm saying? No one, because I build this thing up. It is what it is. I just want to make sure that I am in a place that there's no risk of somebody else having the ability to tear down what I have built. And again, a few years ago I was going through the situation with old boy. Even though it had nothing to do with my online job, it kind of cross paths, and the rest is history. So and I hate feeling like I've hardened my heart to the fact of helping people, dealing with people. But again, once I start seeing dishonesty and start seeing that some things may happen, I just don't ride like that. Yeah, I feel like it's being smart. Like I said, I leave people better. I leave people better than I came to them. You know what I mean? Like if they come into my life and I walk out, I leave them better. I don't ruin them. I don't do anything. Like at the end of the day, I wish everyone well, and we can all be prosperous and happy and healthy and all of that. The Bible says, "Don't let your right hand know what your left hand is doing." Ah, I'm learning what type of people I can't fuck with. Well, it's not even that. It's like sometimes in this life, everyone's here for a reason, season, or lifetime. Sometimes some seasons are over. Sometimes some seasons are long. Sometimes some seasons are short. You learn things from people. You move on. Like I don't. Hopefully, Well, what book was you read? But I could take calls and be like, I'm just, I've been on for 15 minutes. I've said what was on my brain about, my friends circle. I just think it's just real important. It's just so important. Being a blogger or being anyone, in media, just to, foster and maintain relationships that, are beneficial to you, your brand, your outlet, your whatever. And so when the situation comes when it's not, that it can be detrimental, that people are lying and people are looking at you like you lying too, I don't want to be a part of that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to wish nobody bad, because that's what they do. Does that make sense? So, oh, Zills, did you put the number in there? I don't want nobody to feel sorry for me. I don't want nobody to, please don't ever feel sorry for me, honey. Ever. Ever. Ever, ever. Ever. And if you want to say something, you can say it. I've never run from a question. Ever. 98651. Bam. Oh, you beat me to it. Just continue to be true. I'm definitely going to do that. I'm definitely going to do that. Oh, maybe I need to call in. It's my fault.
Please enter your PIN number. Thank you. Joining the conference now. You are currently the only person in this conference.
Y'all don't want to call. Y'all scared. The people who say I want people to feel sorry for me, if you got something to say to me, why don't you call and say it? If you feel some kind of way about what I've said about my life and the way I handle my business, why don't you call in and say it? I just feel like, there's a lot of judgmental people around here who feel some kind of way, but I don't feel like I'm saying anything wrong. If you were in my position, in your position, I mean, think about it. If something is going to hinder you in moving forward in your position, what would you do? Would you continue to be around certain people, or would you move on? Like that's what keep a lot of rappers, a lot of people who grew up in the hood, that's what keep them back. They decide they're going to continue to hang around the same type of people instead of moving and progressing. So again, everybody ain't coming. Everybody don't deserve to come on your journey. Hello, caller 6825.
Greetings.
Hello.
Sister Michelle.
How are you?
Fine. How are you?
I'm good.
I don't even know exactly. I didn't come in at the beginning of the live.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know exactly the whole point of the discussion. So my response is general.
Okay.
I just wanted to say that, yes, and I think I've spoken this before, yes, your circle does have to be small, but it's a percentage small.
Mm-hmm.
It means that when people say positive and negative, that's numerical. It's math. And it's not, math does not lie. So if you have a positive person and a negative person, that equals to 0. If you have 2 positive people and 1 negative person, that's 1. If you get rid of the negative person, those 2 positive people, that's 2. So never get into numbers to where you say, I need 1,000 viewers, I need 1,000 likes, or I need 1,000. What you need is the most positive people in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And I can say that because I've had a life threatening illness.
I'm sorry to hear that.
You're not, all those people are not going to come to your hospital bed.
That's true.
When you get old, all those people are not going to come to your room.
Mm-hmm.
So the focus should be on positive people. You don't even care who the negative people are. And I don't even know who you're talking about. Because this is not when you get on social media, people want to talk about other people.
Mm-hmm.
My grandmother, she was 96. She was born in 1899. Wow. Well, she was 96 years old. She told me, she said, I may not know the name, but I know the game. And you just have to know the game. It doesn't matter what the person looks like. It's the spirit of the person, what's inside the person.
Right.
And what's more important is what's inside of you.
Mm-hmm.
Because what's inside of you is what's going to attract everything else. And when you decide that you're the most important thing in your life, you will attract the most important people to your life.
That's true.
And they will, in turn, be the most attracted to you, and you will establish the best bond that you can. I don't know who you're talking about, but I'm just giving
just in general,
from my perspective.
No, I agree.
What is the most important thing? And I just want you to stay encouraged, whatever's going on, and just don't let negative things around you detract you one bit.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Peace and blessings to you as well. See that positive energy?
You are currently the only person in this conference.
I love it. I love it. And I don't have to be talking about anybody in particular. What I will not do is never throw nobody under the bus. Again, I just want everybody to prosper, live long and prosper. It is what it is. I was just saying, in my circle, I have experienced people who have told untruths about me, merely on and their proximity to me gives them, credibility in these streets. You see what I mean? So, it just kind of bothers me. So I just be like, well, damn. I'm, again, like she said, sometimes you have to work on yourself. And I'm like, what is it about me that's attracting people that's going to do this? So I'm like, okay, all good. Caller 8208, you're on the line. Hello. Hello. 8208. Hold on, let me see. 8208. Hello. Can you hear me?
You are currently the only person in this conference.
Okay.
You are now muted.
I guess they didn't want to
talk.
talk.
Unmuted.
Don't be scared. I'm not gonna bite. If you disagree with me, if you want to curse me out, if you feel like I'm wrong, if you feel like whatever. I mean, I'm just here to listen to you people, to the squad. I know they got shy. It is 12:11. It is after midnight. I just got back from the Whitney Houston screening. I, decided I would share, some things that have been going on, and I'm just like, okay, I've been pondering, I've been thinking, and I'm like, damn, okay, yeah, it's a smart move to keep my circle smile. Yes, it was. I don't want to say it was good. It was informative. It wasn't like entertaining. And we'll talk about that later. This is not about that. I'm gonna do a whole video about that tomorrow. Derek went with me, and we were like, we're gonna do it together in the morning. So Friday is your birthday. Happy birthday, Hazel. Nobody wants to call. Everybody sleep. That's all good. But yeah, and I just been going through some weird stuff, and I'm like, is it my energy? Is it? I don't understand. Like another time, I was out with some girlfriends, and one of my friends, we've been friends for a while. She called me later, and she was like, "This been bothering me. I heard you say, I don't know why you invited her," and I'm like, I never said that. Why would I invite you and then say, I don't know why I invited you? So, and I was just like, it was just kind of weird to me because I'm like, I never want anybody to think that I would do something like it was just weird energy. So I'm like, what is going on? What is so going on? And, the crazy thing is the event that we were at, it was like, I was posing on the red carpet and, people would come and I had, it was a work thing, but in the midst of it being a work thing, there's always room for it to be, kind of, a party thing and we chilling and we, having fun and, dancing and drinking and all of that because of the work that I do. So of course, a lot of times I will invite some friends to come because I'm not gonna be chilling in the corner while everybody partying and stuff, even though I'm in work mode. So sometimes people see that and people will see me there and people will see, other people coming and asking me to do stuff and da 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 da. I take pictures and da da da. And I don't know, they feel some kind of way or something. And so I'm like, why would I say I should never have invited you when I invited you and I've invited you before and you're here and I just don't understand. So, it's just little stuff like that. And I just don't ever want to be in a position where, and it's crazy because the friends that I've had like 20 years, they could care less about any of this crap. They don't want to come to the party. They don't want to come to the screening. They don't, they're going to be at Essence, of course, but they, it's just interesting. So, caller 8564. Hello. Hello. Oh, wait.
Hello?
I'm sorry. That was my fault.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Hey.
Hi, this is Monique calling from Houston again. I spoke with you the other day about the whole Monique thing.
Yes. Hey, Monique.
And you were like, is this the Monique? And I was like, no.
Yes.
I was listening to you and I've been watching and I heard the comments that you made about sometimes when you have a repeat of the same situations going over and over and over again, then you have to start to say, what is it in me that's drawing this to me? Most times people actually think that that's a negative. Sometimes it's actually a positive about you. I'm a very nurturing person. I am a giver. Like, that's what I am. If there's anybody that needs help that comes around me, my first instinct is to help, to provide, to give, to do whatever it needs, whatever I can do, whether it be financial, verbal, whatever it is. And I feel like that's kind of your situation. The only thing about people like us is we have to learn how to drop the nugget that we may, that you're supposed to drop, because some people, they come to just get, but they're not supposed to stay. And because we have a caring or that loving side to us to where we draw people in, we'll keep them longer than they're supposed to be there. So you actually supposed to give and let them go.
Right.
But sometimes we cultivate the friendships or we cultivate, and sometimes it's not even always a friendship, but it's a level of, again, that nurturer kicks in.
Right.
It's like the nurturer just kicks in, and when you see people going through, you're always trying to stop. But it's like it gets to a point where if I constantly see you heading to the brick wall, and I've told you danger is ahead, danger is ahead, danger is ahead, people that's like us, we have to learn how to walk away. Because if I said it to you more than one time, I cannot put myself in front of that wall to stop you from hitting it.
Right.
Because if I do, then I take you out, and I take
me out.
You take me out, and you take you out too.
Yes. Yes.
So it's just a fact of learning when to let go. It's not that you're not supposed to help, and that's what some people do sometimes. Well, I'm just not going to help nobody anymore. But it doesn't have to go to that degree.
Right.
You're still able to help, but you have to know how to not cultivate relationships that's deeper than what it's for.
Right. You're right. You're absolutely right.
So sometimes that's the dilemma in all of this.
Yeah. It's a dilemma. It's a dilemma.
Yeah.
But
I've been through it.
And I said earlier,
I've been through. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Mom, I have a delay on my end. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying earlier, like my grandmother always told me that insects are drawn to fire, light. You know what I'm saying? So your light will shine enough, and you'll get leeches all over you. You know what I'm saying? Insects, mosquitoes, all kind of stuff. So and I just realized that a lot of the times I have a lot of things that people want, whatever that may be. It can be money, it could be time, it can be influence, it could be knowledge, it could be all of that. And I get a lot of people around me who want to be around me for those reasons. And so I just kind of I do self-reflect, because when I start to see certain things, I'm like, well, dang, how I let that person in? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, it is what it is. But yeah,
But you know what the thing about it is? Because when you light, you're gonna draw. So you can't dim your light. So if you try to not draw people to you, or you try to dim your light, then that's going to stop people from coming. So you always have to know that people are going to come. And it's okay for you to give, because some people, this is the thing, they may not get what you gave at the time, but it may be 2 years down the road where they think about it and say, I needed this person. And yeah, she was there for me, but at the time, I couldn't respect what it is that she gave me. Because I'm caught up in my past. Because that's the thing about everybody. We all have a past. Right. We all have childhoods. We all have, things that will sculpt us and mold us into the people that we are. And there's a level of good in everybody. Some people have more bad that takes over than the good. Yeah. But we can't stop giving. But again, you have to know, like you said, a leech can get all over you. It's all right if it attach itself, but if it in 5 minutes you feel, and I guess that's the discernment part about it. We have to pray for discernment, because if after 5 minutes you feel like, okay, I've given you whatever it is that you came to get. And I need to pluck you off of me. Right. I need to pull you off of me, and I need to let you go. Right. You understand what I mean? And a lot of times those same people will come to you later and say, I just wasn't ready for what you had to give me. I wasn't the type of friend, because this happened to me before. I wasn't the type of friend that I needed to be to you, but because you were who you were, right, you benefited my life. But it took me a couple of years to get that and to see that. So that's the biggest thing about it. You can't shut yourself off. You can't close yourself off. The only thing you have to do is pray for discernment and say, if you brought this person to me, and if it's something that I'm supposed to give to them, Lord, allow me to give it to them. And then once I give it, allow me to know how to let them go.
Right.
And when I let them go, whatever you sent them to get, now you cultivate it.
Right.
You make it go into whatever it needs to go within them. Because some people, so many people, we all hurt and we're looking for change. But again, sometimes people don't know how to accept change, even when it's, when it's in your face and when it's good. I always tell people, it's like a woman, almost like a woman that's battered. You have been beaten by everybody you've been with, and you meet the good guy. And he never put his hands on you. He never disrespect you. He never does any of that. But you will walk away from him and go back to the bad guy.
Right.
Because you used to the slap.
Right.
You used to being cursed. You used to being misused. And it's uncomfortable to be with the person that's not misusing you, that's not taking advantage of you, because the whole time you with them, you're wondering, when is he going to hit me? So it's harder for you to deal with the possibility of being hit than actually being hit.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean? So sometimes people come and they want to change. They want something different. They see something good about you. They're drawn to you. They want to be different. They want to learn. They want certain things. But that old nature starts to kick back in. It starts to creep in. I mean, the Bible says that we have to renew our mind. You got to start getting rid of that old flesh, that old man.
Right.
And a lot of people, we want better, but it's hard to start getting rid of the old. So sometimes that's what happens in relationships. It was good when it started. The person didn't possibly come to you ill-willed. They didn't come to you to hurt you. They didn't come to do any of that. But that old started to creep back in.
You're right.
So I just wanted to share.
You said a word, honey. You touched a lot of souls tonight. I promise you. Oh my God, I appreciate this word that you're bringing to me. And you're so right. It's just interesting. And on the flip side, and look, I'm holding you, and I know I got another caller on the line. Just to as a contrast, I had a person, like I was saying, helping me with my house situation. Remember, I was saying I was so stressed out. I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta get the contract. And so one of my good friends, really good friends, totally took it out of my hands. I wasn't used to that, because I'm used to being that friend that totally, that helps somebody or whatever. And I was like, I literally just wanted to fall at his feet and cry because I've never had nobody do that type of thing. So, it's interesting. It's interesting. I appreciate you.
Yeah. And I enjoy talking to you. And of course, I listen to you all the time, every day. And I don't always comment in the comments, but I'm an observer, and I pay attention to things, and I watch moves, and I watch, I see when there's nothing that's there for me to actually see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when it's not in front of your face, I see beyond certain things. So I watch a lot.
Okay.
On social media, and I look at a lot, and I don't always comment because everything is not meant for you to comment on.
True.
But when it's time to comment, I've learned that I speak when I need to speak, and when I don't have anything to say, and I'm just in that mode of listening and intaking, then that's what I do.
Well, thank you so much for choosing to call in and comment on this, because I appreciate your words. Thank you so much.
And you look so pretty. I saw you get your eyebrows done earlier.
Thank you. Look, I want to keep it on as long as possible. That's why I'm like, let me do a live real quick before I wipe all this out. But thank you so much for calling. All right. Good night.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Caller 1041. Y'all always rushing people off the phone. Why y'all be doing that? Caller 1041. You on the line.
Hey, Michelle, how you doing?
I'm good. How you doing? Who I'm speaking with?
This is Sean Smith from Fort Worth, Texas.
Oh, hey, Sean Smith.
Oh, yeah. Now, I know about the whole friendship thing, keeping your circle small and all that. You know, I talk about that every day. You know, I trust, I thought I could trust people and all that to be my friend, but they sometimes, in one day they want to talk to you, and then the next day they don't, and that's what kind of plot situation that I'm dealing with now. That I thought that people my friend, but they's not my friend and stuff. And I had to remember that the older that I get, that everybody's not your friend just because you have a conversation with them and all that. And that's what I had to realize for myself.
That's a good realization. I mean, at the end of the day, like it's all about who gives you the positive energy you need to get through the day. You know what I'm saying? That's who you need to keep in your circle. Like the negative energy, the lies, the trying to figure out what's going on, the this, that, and the third. Like sometimes you just have to walk away because that takes up too much energy.
Yeah, and you just can't trust everybody, just hang out with positive people.
Positive.
Like, I'm just so thankful to have people, people that I'm friends with at church that's positive, that's cared about me, that would say stuff that I needed to hear, not stuff that I wanted to hear.
That's true. That's true. Well, I certainly appreciate your call all the way from Texas tonight.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for calling in.
You're welcome. Bye.
That was a nice call. Caller 6323, you are on the line.
Hey, Michelle.
Hey. Who am I speaking with?
I want to ask a question, but then I'm going to get off because I need to pay attention. But I want to ask you, what do you think about men who are intimidated by women? Like, whether it's like education, money, all that stuff. Like, they kind of jealous or they always got something like slick to say. What do you think about that?
Oh, he ain't the one. He ain't the one. A real man won't be jealous. Oprah is one of my idols, and it was an Oprah show a long time ago. You might can find it on YouTube where she talked to like 30-something-year-old women, and they were professional women, and they were talking about all these men who were intimidated. And I recall Oprah saying, the right man for you won't be intimidated. You know what I mean? Like there's men out there that have more than you. There's men out there who are smarter. There's men out there who can teach you something. So at the end of the day, those men who are intimidated, those are not the ones for you.
So you can't even like help them. You can't help lift someone up because it's like taking away from you, like draining you.
That's definitely
so then it's like you
draining.
just need, like the other caller was saying, just like leave it alone.
Yeah, that's definitely draining you. I mean, lifting someone up is one thing, but when you meet someone, if their glass isn't full, you know what I mean? You can't take out of yours and give to them. So at the end of the day, like a lot of people who, don't have it all together are looking for you to give it to them. That's not the man you need, in my humble opinion. But men are, some men are going to be intimidated by you, and some men are intimidated by me. If you got it going on, whatever that is to them. So basically you can, just keep it moving, and the right one will come along. So you feel like you should be out there lifting these men up who are intimidated?
No, but sometimes, like, if you have a good heart and you're a good person and you just want to help people, like, and it's not necessarily anyone you're dating, you're just a friend. It's like you want to, like, I guess, help them become or see their potential.
I mean,
but they have their own way of finding it. It's just weird how it doesn't really, I don't know.
I believe there are ways you can lift people up. I do believe that. But at the end of the day, like if this person is intimidated by you, an intimidated person is not going to open up and share with you. You're not going to even know they need something or they need, your support or whatever that is. So at the end of the day, like, you want a strong man who is strong-willed, who can speak, who can enunciate clearly, what his wants, dreams, wishes, abilities, ambitions, all of that are. Like, if you have somebody who's intimidated by your mere being, it's not a good thing. It's not going to work. And Firestarter said it too. Like, intimidation sometimes is jealousy. Like, they can't do what you do or have what you have, or speak as well as you speak, or write as well as you write, and all those types of things. Like, you need somebody who, intimidation won't be a factor, because they know they have other positive qualities that can balance you out. Why would they be intimidated by your qualities when they, come into the table as a helpmate, or vice versa?
Yeah, it's just weird, because it's like, it's not even something that you're doing. But like, have you ever dealt with a man that always have to, like, they have to always overcompensate? Mm-hmm. Like, even if it's just like a little minor conversation, they always have to act like they know more than you know. It's just always like that.
Well, sometimes as a woman, you gotta give them that. Let them know more than you know. Don't let them know you know everything from the beginning. I mean, you ain't gotta dumb yourself down, but you ain't gotta let them know you gotta, doctorate and tell them, how your calculus degree and all of this stuff. Like, at the end of the day, let him show you his power, and that he's powerful, and that he knows something. Maybe you may be able to learn something from the things that he's telling you.
You are right, Michelle. I'm gonna take your advice.
Thank you. I'm working on it myself, because sometimes I have to dumb it down. And I don't mean literally dumb it down, but sometimes you got to just shut up and let the man be the man.
Wait, okay, what is this vice versa? What if you, not saying I am, because I am not, but what if you are intimidated by a man or whatever? But that's usually not going to happen, because any woman would be happy to have a man that kind of has, like, more than her, kind of. Mm-hmm. Well, not any woman. But I don't know. I can't see myself being intimidated by a man, but some women might be. I don't know. That's weird.
That would probably be okay, because if there's some intimidation there, I mean, he is showing a strong force. Like, I might be, if I found me a man that was intimidating, I might be drawn to him. Yeah. And that's just my sordid way of thinking. You know what I'm saying? Like, and someone is asking, how old are you, if you don't mind sharing?
None of your business.
30, you're in your 30s, or you younger than 20?
That's why I'm asking. No. Let's play a guessing game.
No, it's quite okay. I mean, you gotta go. You young, you learning, honey.
No, I'm in my 20s. I'm only 23.
Well, there you go. At 23, I got married.
See?
So.
Oh no, Michelle.
Exactly. If I knew what I knew now, I would have ran so fast. Man, he was so fine, 6'5" and fine and all of that, and I just knew he was my king, honey. And if I knew what I knew now, yeah.
Michelle, you look like you were married, like a divorced.
How do you look like you married?
Like you've been like single and like being a butterfly all over the city all the time. You don't even look like you've been married.
What's that doing?
You just look free and like.
Because I have been free for so long. I don't even know I don't even remember what being married was. And I was married for 10 years. So yeah, I've been free.
That's a long time.
That 10 years is a long time to be married. Trust, it is. And once I was unmarried, child, please, I broke those chains. It's, it is what it is. And I want to be married again eventually. So, who's to say what may happen in the future?
But okay, I'm going to get off after this. But like now marriage isn't really taking, well, I guess just like the new like society now kind of, it's not really taking that seriously anymore. It doesn't seem like people don't really have that space structure in it. it's kind of like
I just
weird.
think we just don't see it because of social media and because everybody's a baby mama and because, every man got 5 women and all of this on social media. I think that traditionalism is still alive and well. And I think there still are men out there who are looking for women who believe that, they want a king just like they want a queen. So you just have to stand strong and be patient and wait. Cause shoot, don't settle. Don't just, do the things that you feel like are right, i.e., children out of wedlock and, and no shade to the people who do, but at the end of the day, like I value family structure and everybody's always like, well, why you don't have kids? Because I don't have a husband. You know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is. Just, be patient and, whatever.
I want to be married, but I don't really want to I think the thing is, it's a lot of like Black women who are still single. And I was thinking about it today. It's probably because like a lot of us, some of us don't really want to date outside of our race. And then it's kind of like the men that, I don't know, like we don't want to I guess like you said earlier, like dumb myself down for some of the Black men that are out there. I don't know. It's crazy because.
And when I say dumb it down, I don't necessarily mean just be stupid and unknowledgeable. What I mean is just let the man be the man. You know what I mean? Like let him take control sometimes. And a lot of times nowadays, because we're so used to being independent and we're so used to doing everything ourselves, a lot of us don't know how to do that. Hell, I don't. So.
Okay, Michelle, thank you so much. Because Josh is saying
you.
that it's turned into a parenting session. He's being shady in the comments.
Oh, don't worry about those people. But thank you for calling. Just be patient and he will come. He will come. Don't rush into it like I did, honey. Even though I stayed for 10 years, I should have left after year 5.
Oh Lord.
I should have. But anyway, enough about me. But thank you for calling.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
You are currently the only person.
I'm the only caller. Y'all don't want to talk no more? Okay. Well, for the person who asked how tall I am 5'7" ish. Zills don't believe it because he doesn't. Yeah. Your traditions, values, goals, and expectations should be the same as your partner. Otherwise, it won't work. Exactly, Ivan Flores. Even Ivan. Exactly. I totally agree. So when you talk about being intimidated, I mean that word itself it just evokes kind of negative feelings and emotions. Like intimidation is something that you don't want in a relationship. Like I don't want anybody who gonna look at me sternly and make me do something, intimidate me into doing anything, or vice versa. So yeah, it's definitely a cringe-worthy word. So there are a lot of able-bodied men out there who love women who love strong women, but at the same time, us strong women have to let these men be men. So that's my word for the day. A stern look might be. Yeah, you're right, Suzanne. A stern look, it just depends. It just depends. Some men are intimidated, some men are, but are those really the men for you if they are intimidated? They ain't intimidated, Anyway, don't even get me started. I'm not going to put nobody down tonight. Somebody's on the line. I don't never hear the phone ring. Hold on.
I am.
Hey.
I'm on the line.
I hear you.
Hey. How are you?
I'm great. How are you tonight?
I am doing well. Okay, your last caller, she was young.
Yeah.
And we are not as young as she was. Now, 20-something when we got married is not the same 20-something now.
Today. Mm-hmm.
Not at all. So, I just look, what I would tell women, and Zill's is a hater.
First of all, who am I speaking with? Who is this on the line?
He's a sweet hater. I'm so serious.
Do you not want to say your name?
This is Brown Diamond.
Okay, Brown. I didn't hear you say your name earlier. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I probably didn't because I just dived right in. But my thing, you know what? We need to teach the young. That's what we're older. We need to teach the young, seriously. And I don't really understand the whole thing about a guy not being insecure about a woman who makes more, who's more, whatever than the man. I think most Black men are. I don't think they can take it. I don't think that they can accept it. And that's why I think, okay, I see your facial expression.
I'm listening.
But I think that's why we should date outside of a race. Bottom line. Yeah, I think we should, because I feel like a lot of African American guys, they are intimidated by us. It's just the bottom line. It's like they are intimidated by us, and they shouldn't be, but they are. And you can't work a relationship with a man who feels like, because you make more than he does, that you're greater than he is, because it's not about that.
It's not about that.
It's not. It shouldn't be. But
I've just seen so many strong Black relationships in my family that I just feel like there's a man out there somewhere who is a strong Black man who wouldn't be intimidated, who, like, when you say you make XYZ amount of money and this and the third, and I always feel like that's just relative, because at the end of the day there's somebody out there doing better than you. There's somebody out there doing with ambitions to do better than you, even if they're not doing better now. Like, I just think they wouldn't see what you have or what you're doing as a factor if they're really into you. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, I do. I know what you mean. But say, for instance, you were making, $600,000 a year, okay? And the guy that you met, or whatever, the man that you met, maybe he only made like $85,000 a year, okay?
But how would
you allow him to
Go ahead. I'm sorry I interrupted. Go ahead. Would I allow him?
Would you allow him to be the man in the household, and would your money be his money and his money be your money, or?
My money will be in a Swiss bank account somewhere, but I'll be making 85. He'll be making $85,000 a year. I'll be making 80. I put me on the payroll as making 80, so he'll be making more.
That works for me.
But our business, we could be joint partners in the business.
Okay, but see, then you would still bring it back down to you guys really kind of making the same amount of money.
I mean, what do you mean? I just said I'll be making 80. He'll be making 85. He'll be making more.
Well,
I'm just
saying, but the scenario I gave you is he was making like 600.
Okay.
You were making the 600. He was maybe making the 80, 85. So would your money be his money, or your money be his money? Would you guys share?
You see, there's so many other factors to consider, like prenups and agreements and all of that. So and even in the beginning of a relationship, if she's making 600 and he's making 85, we shouldn't even know that in the beginning of a relationship, because his 85 should be enough to sustain him and make him, and he flies here. He got his own car. He got his own house, and mine, I got this. I got, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like, I wouldn't know that he's making 85 when we're dating, when we're getting to know each other. So I don't feel like that's a accurate question, if that makes sense, because by the time we get to engagement and marriage and all that stuff, we should have worked that money stuff out by then.
And so it would actually be brought in with the prenup, basically, on your part, not on his part probably, but on your part.
Maybe on both of our parts. Maybe if we love each other enough, there won't be one.
I guess that's why I'm saying that it a lot of times it doesn't work when the woman is more powerful, makes more money than the man. I just think it does not always work. And I mean, maybe there are situations and circumstances, you talk about, like you said, your aunt and uncle. That was back in the day. A lot of relationships now are totally different.
You're right. It is different today. It is.
And that's all I'm saying. You know, that's all I'm saying. You know, I say,
I get it, but I just think, you know, everybody keep talking about, you know, all these black women making all this money and men ain't making no money. Like, a man don't work, don't eat, right? So he gonna be taking care of whoever he married. He gonna be housing whoever he married. If I'm making $600,000, you just making $85,000. I'm gonna live in your $85,000 house, whatever it is, whatever you can supply. That is where we live in. That is what we doing. You are the man of the house. You are providing for me. Like, I'm not. You know, as far as work is concerned, we can, you know, deal with that as it comes. But when it comes to this relationship situation, it's the man's responsibility, in my eyes, to shelter, house, provide, nurture, you know, and the woman's job to nurture and build, you know. So.
Right, and as a woman, what you would do is you would come off your $600,000 figure or whatever, and you like you said, you would accept what he was able to provide.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, but in a lot of times that's not how women are. Women want to still live their high lifestyles with the men that they're with, and the men don't really make that much.
Well, that's their fault. But I give up the penthouse in a minute. Nice. I give up the penthouse in a minute, and I move into your house in our 2-car garage. I sell the Porsche.
You would move out the penthouse and move into a what?
Hell yeah! If he done bought a house, yes. I take my money and get my hair done every week, get my nails done, play with my dog, blog on the side. Like, yes.
Okay. Hey,
so find him if he out there. Find the $85,000 man. Let him know I am available. He gotta pay all the bills. But the bills ain't gotta be no penthouse. I'm just letting you know. I'm flexible.
Michelle, always nice talking with you. Support you always.
Thank
okay,
you.
God bless.
God bless you. Thank you. Bye. Caller 8550, you are on the line.
Hi, Michelle.
Hey. Why y'all laughing?
How are you?
I'm dead serious. Y'all playing. I'm good. How you doing? Who am I speaking with?
This is Danella from Texas.
Hey, Texas is in the house tonight.
Hey, Texas is in the house tonight. I just want to. There are still some good men out there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of people bashes, you know, guys and kind of put them all into, you know, one bowl, like every guy is bad.
Mm-hmm.
That's not true.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, and I get what you're saying about back in the days, and I believe that too. A man is supposed to be the provider.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not looking for you to just do everything.
Yeah,
but the man
don't have
is
to live extravagantly. We don't have to live extravagantly. You know, this is the single life. Like the married life. I don't have to live. Just take me on a trip every now and then. We go on a cruise with our old friends and drink, and you know,
right.
Like,
you know, it's like we got to start appreciating these black males for, you know, in a relationship. It's like when people have bad times, they always think about the bad things about that man. They never take the time to look at the small things. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All of them ain't bad. All of them ain't bad mans. And I think they just have been bashed so badly till they just feel like, you know, well, you know, everybody think all men is not good men anyway. So, you know, we might as well just be dogs or just, you know, but there are still some good men out there.
I agree.
It's just that us women as black women need to start appreciating these black men and, you know, believing in their dreams. You know, a lot of these black men have dreams and want to see things and do things. It's just, you know, it's supposed to be that woman support, you know, help him support to his dream, you know?
Right.
That's how it was back in the days.
Yeah,
but,
I feel
like times have changed.
Yeah, times have changed, but I still don't think they've changed that much. It's still people out there who value relationships.
I don't either.
We just don't see it. It's just not publicized as much because, you know, the thing is, all of the celebrities and all of the rappers and singers, everybody got 4 or 5 women and 4 or 5 baby mamas, and all the reality stars happy with being a baby mama, and that's what these younger girls see and emulate, and that's not what the world is. You know what I mean?
Not,
so, you know,
it's not what it is. It's just a bad influence. It's a bad influence because back in the days, you know, even if you was a side woman, you knew not to say nothing. You kept your mouth shut. Now it's like
they're proud
the world
of it.
needs to
and
know.
they taking pictures while the man sleep and put it on social media. You know,
yes, they is so proud of that. You know, I mean, they're absolutely proud of it. They rather be second than to be first. I don't get that.
But but you have rappers like Nicki Minaj rapping about rich sex and selling her coochie and all of that. So, you know, again, these are the things that, you know, young women coming up emulate. They see the Cardi B's. But at least Cardi B married. Let me give Cardi B that. At least she got married before.
Yeah, let's give her some credit because she did get married. She is trying to do the right thing, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, think about the 4 or 5, you know, don't even get me started. The 4 or 5 black baby mamas that Offset got on the side that he didn't marry. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just so.
Yeah, he could. Yeah, now that's so true. That's so true. But I just think, and I just wish that, you know, a lot of these black celebrities, I wish they would just change the whole front and start being more positive because, you know, it's young girls that is growing up and they being taught the wrong way. I mean, you know what I'm saying? The parents raise the kids. You can raise your kids all you want, but when they get off to themselves, they still gonna do them. You know, it might be stuff in your house that you don't approve for them to watch, but when they go to their friends' house for them, the cell phones and all that, you know, this time has changed from when I was a little girl.
Right.
Everything, so much access is everything
access.
Is right there at their fingertips.
Mm-hmm. It's too
right
much
at their fingertips.
Yep.
We didn't have these camera phones and all this different stuff when I was coming up. Girl, we played kickball, volleyball, you know, in the street playing kickball and all kind of stuff.
They play
kickball
on.
They don't do that no more.
They play it on the phone.
They don't do that no more.
They play kickball on the phone.
Yeah,
you're right.
They don't do any of that no more.
You're right.
That is so crazy. That's so true.
Well,
but yeah, I just want to say, yes, there are still some good men out there, but you know, everybody's so choicy. They want them to have a Maserati and, you know, all this. You know,
it's all right to be choosy. It's all right to be choosy, but my thing is, I don't think, you know, you should make your choice based on, you know, material things. Like, that comes and goes.
Right,
like,
on material things.
That car can be repoed tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So.
That is so true.
But thank you so much for calling in tonight.
But thank you. And it's so good to talk to you, Miss Michelle.
It's always a pleasure. I appreciate you. I'm going to take one more call before I go. But I appreciate you. Thank you so much for calling.
You're welcome. All righty. Bye.
Last call for alcohol. Hello. Caller 8208.
Hi, Michelle.
Hey, how are you?
I'm fine. This is Tina.
Hey, Tina.
I have a question. Well, hi. I'm going to refer to the last 2 calls.
Okay.
Now, there's one that said if you make $600,000, and he made $85,000, will you ever accommodate his low income after 5 years? And you realize that you making all the business moves. And you want him to make the business move, but you realize he doesn't have that kind of knowledge to make the business move, and he's setting you back. Would that be a turn off eventually? Or you just keep riding that out?
Hell yeah. That'd be turn off.
I mean, because at some point, we do fall in love with people at the time when we, you know, not thinking about money. But at some point, after 2-3 years, you realize, you know what? I'm making $600. He's making $85, and I see why he's making $85.
But my thing is, I would hope to see that before I jump jump the broom. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the point in dating and getting to know someone is finding out their traits. And one of my prerequisites, mine, I can't speak for everyone, would be some type of ambition. You know what I mean? Like, I'm business minded. I would hope that I would marry a man who has a business mind, whatever that business may be. It doesn't have to be blogging or running a corporation or any of that. It could be anything. He could be the best damn landscaper in Atlanta. But you know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, like, I want somebody who. Go ahead.
I'm not talking 20, because at 20 you will make a mistake like that.
Mm-hmm.
But when you get older and you realize, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
Let me make sure. First of all, was he raised with a mom and dad? Because at this point right now, today, as Black men, the mothers have raised a single. The mothers were single,
right,
and they have a son.
Right.
Okay. So the boy to man doesn't realize that he doesn't know what he's supposed to do.
Well, think about the daughters too. The daughters looking at the dads with 3 or 4, other women and her half sisters and brothers. So I mean, it's the same thing on both sides.
But she fell in love with him because he had some type of, I'm not going to say feminine way, but because he knows how to treat a woman. Okay? So you fell in love with the fact that he knows how to treat a woman because his mom raised him. But as time goes on, he doesn't have that man. He's a man. He acts like a man. You want him to be a man because you probably taught him how to treat you. But for how long would that last? You know what I mean? Especially if you make it 600, you make it 85.
I get what you're saying, but it's just a whole lot. I'm so analytical in my thinking, and it's just a whole lot of problematic things before you get to that point. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some things that, like, you should be able to discern, like, when you dating, when you're going through the courtship, there's some things you should be able to discern before you get 5 years down the line, and then you realize, well, this nigga ain't shit. But I mean, it happens. It happens.
It was love at first sight. He's a custodian. It was love at first sight. Okay, you met a custodian. That's a man. He keeps your house clean. He does everything you're supposed to do as far as you're concerned.
Perfect for me.
As far as,
yes.
He does the lawn. He keeps the house clean. And you're like, I can work with him. But as time goes on, you realize, well, damn, I feel like I'm pulling him in. Like, I'm trying to get him to, like, I'm making this, like, your energy. Like, you're losing your energy because you're trying to make it happen for both of you guys. Will you stay because you in love, or the love has faded away because you pulled him in? Does that make sense?
It makes sense, but these are so hypothetical. It makes sense, but it's like, okay, and what if, he suddenly gets ambition and then decides to hire 5 more people to be, custodians and start his custodian business, and then you managing the money and the books for him because he's just not into that. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, because at the end of the day, if somebody is ambitious and they get with a woman who is ambitious and they're equally yoked and they have brains and they can put it together, like, his half thought can finish her thought or whatever it may be. So, I mean, you keep thinking about, he ain't got nothing and you got everything. Who cares about that?
Not that he doesn't have anything, because I look at it like this. If I was making $600,000, he's making $85,000. I love him. He loves me. And all these years, I've been pulling everything as far as I've been taking care of him. He said he has 4 homes or whatever. He only has.
I wouldn't. You didn't hear me. I wouldn't give a god dang. 85,000 is good to live on. I remember when I was making 40 back in the day. So 85,000, hell yeah, I would. Whatever that could be our savings for a rainy day. I put that 600 up. Whatever, and we living off your income. Period.
No. You want to live off his $85,000?
Hell yeah, 85 is a good income. What you saying?
For how long?
Forever, until he make 90 when he get his raise. I'm just. is. I mean, it is. Like, you know, he not gonna. You know, our business, that'll be our fun money. We could go on vacations and do nice things, but at the end of the day, you work, a man that don't work, that don't eat. My uncle, my daddy, everybody always taught me that. He gotta work, he gotta put a roof over his head. Me coming, I'm just moving in. I'm bringing all the good stuff. I'm bringing the cooking and the food and, you know, the decorations, and I'm gonna make him dress better. I'm gonna do all this stuff for him. His $85,000 a year is enough. I don't need a salary, especially if I got my own business. The pussy, exactly. I'm bringing everything. I'm making his house a home.
Okay, this is what it is. You know, I work with Nigerians, okay? A lot of Nigerians.
Mm-hmm.
And in my 20s and 30s, I didn't understand why the man takes the woman's check, which is the Nigerian woman, Nigerian men. They give the Nigerian men all control over their checks. And I never understood why in my 20s and my 30s, because I was like, there's no way I'm giving a man my check as far as the bill. But now, as I've gotten older, I would love it. And I'm going to tell you why. Because after being independent for so long, for all these years, you get tired of taking control over everything.
Now you hear me?
You get tired of paying the gardener. Hold on. You get tired of paying the gardener. You get tired of paying that gas and light bill. Sometimes you're just going to work and come home and relax. Now, their whole thing is, they was like, hey, you don't really understand the whole thing. The thing is, you want to just be able to come home and relax and let him take care of the bills. I didn't understand that at 20 and 30, but I understand it now over 40. I understand it, and I would recommend it. If you have a man you can trust, even though he makes less than you, but he's making your daily routine easier, then I think it's a good idea.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes. I do.
And I never understood that in my 20s. I was like, there's no way I'm giving him my check.
But ain't nothing wrong with putting some on the side either. Ain't nothing wrong to have a little bank account on the side. Now you gotta have your own money, you know, just in case. Ask Shawnee O'Neal. You know, she had 5 kids and you know, whatever. But yeah.
You couldn't pay me. You couldn't pay me anything to give them my check and distribute it out to the bills or whatever they had. But now, as you're older, you know how to make sure, you will check on the money. But you would love to say, okay, we got 2 mortgages.
But that's my point. I'm going to have, you know, you got to have access to the money too. You know what I'm saying? Just in case. But, you know, all our names are joint, everything joint. But at the end of the day, he can control all that. He can write the checks. He can manage, manage everything that the repairs, the tires getting changed. He can manage all that. Just I can go to the grocery store.
But in your 20s and 30s, you wouldn't have done that. You'd be like, oh, hell no, you're not getting my money. And But now I see why. Because as Black women, we work so hard. We do so much.
Carry the weight of the world on our backs.
We take care of the kids. We clean the house. And at a certain age, you realize, you know what? I put too much on myself. It's time for somebody to take this job. And even though he doesn't make as much as I do, he's making good love to me. He's taking care of the bills. And I'm just going to make sure I check on my money. And that should be fine.
Right. No, but at the end of the day, like, I ain't paying the bills. Like, you can get my little check, but I ain't paying all the household bills. Like, I'm just saying, your $85,000, like we were saying, your money is covering the bills because, like I always said, like at the end of the day, he would have had to pay for a roof over his head anyway.
Wait a minute, hold on. If I'm making $600,000 and I'm used to living nice, we all gonna live nice.
That's true.
If I love you now.
I ain't gonna live in no bull crap, but my thing is, I'm not gonna live in no $1 million penthouse either. That makes no sense.
No, we're not, because not if you make $600,000. No. But what I'm saying is, if you have a Range Rover and I have a Benz, you make $85,000, I make $600,000, but you realize my check covers everything, and we still living good. Why not if that's your husband, you love him, and he's taking care of all the minor
because if you weren't there, he would still have to pay for a roof over his head and a car. No, you gonna pay for everything. No.
I'm not saying his $85,000 is not included, because don't forget, a Range Rover and a Benz in a nice house
Oh, so you mean to supplement the 85? Okay, I'll supplement it, but I'm not gonna match it.
No, we gonna live nice, but you're gonna take care of all the shit that gives me a headache. And your children. Would you go for that? Would you still be in love with him?
I stopped working. I close my business and shutter the doors and sell the business and put that in the bank account, and we still gonna live off his 85 G's. You don't understand what I'm saying. No. At the end of the day, this man, it has to. Without you, without a wife, without a woman, without a helpmate, this man still has to live, right? A man don't work, don't eat. He gotta work. He gotta have a roof over his head. So whether he is married or not, he is going to pay for a roof over his head. Everybody pays, most people anyway, except for the deadbeats, pays for a roof over his head, right? So my thing is, he gotta pay for the roof over our head. I'm moving in.
You get his check too.
I'm moving in.
Get his check too.
It ain't even got nothing to do with money. I'm moving in. He can discover later. I want it. You know what? In dating situations, I ain't gonna even tell you how much money I make, what I make. I ain't gonna pull up in no Porsche. I ain't gonna do nothing. I'm gonna catch the Uber, whatever. You don't know what I have, how much I have, what's in my bank account. At the end of the day, it's like if he wants you for you, he gonna want you for you. Like it ain't got nothing to do with my money. What my money got to do with this?
But you don't have to. No. You don't have to tell him in the beginning. I'm saying one thing.
I ain't gonna tell him at all. I bet like if I got $600, like I ain't telling him at all. Maybe later, but like no, I ain't telling him at all. I just made that decision right now.
Okay, so you're gonna have an Optima, and he's gonna have a Toyota, and you're gonna have a $300,000 house for 30, 40 years because you don't want to just use your money.
I mean, we might not have it 30, 40 years. Real estate, appreciate. So, I mean, we might flip it in about 3 and move into a $500,000 house. Think bigger.
So now you're 70 years old. You got about $5 million because you've been saving all your money and you didn't want to just live nice.
And now he has proven to me that he is deserving of the queendom and my riches. But I'm not coming into the relationship. You ain't gonna know all that. I'm not telling you about my money because my money shouldn't matter. What my money matter to you? Either you want me or you don't.
Okay, Michelle. So what you gonna use him for? He makes $85,000. Don't you want him to be able to just operate the business for you? I mean, like get the landscaping done, get the.
I already told you I'm retiring. I'm done. We get married. He working. Like he already working. He got to work anyway. I'm bringing the home into the house. And that's me in my age. I'm not talking about 20-something. I'm talking about 40-something. I'm just talking about me. And I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying completely. But Michelle, the blogger.
You know what it is? You've been married for 10 years. But you've never been married before, and you was an independent Black woman for more than 40 years, and you realize that you are tired. You are exhausted.
I'm tired.
You have done landscaping. You have called electricians. You have called plumbers. You have called mechanics. And you have this man that makes $85,000 that can do all that for you. And all you have to do is make sure the shit get paid. I'm not saying he keeps his
moment of transparency. Moment of transparency. My husband wasn't making his shit. We both was broke when we was married. So my thing is, you say, you tired. Hell, I'm tired too. I was doing it then, and I got divorced, and I continue to do it on my own. So it's like, at this stage in the game, I'm not marrying for money, but I know for a fact that I'm bringing a lot to the table. You know what I'm saying? Whether it ain't got to do nothing with money, I'm bringing me. And I'm a lot. So I'm coming, I'm moving in, I'm taking over. At the end of the day, you don't have to run the money to run the money, if that makes sense. So
I guarantee you, you would not live under your means because
you
feel like I don't want to see it. Because if you're living off $85,000 and you're $80,000, that's some bullshit living.
If I didn't want to drive so far, I moved to my house in Fairburn right now. And that house is a good 150. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, you talk about below your means. Below your means is what you can pay for. Like I don't like no. I'm.
Well, you better not walk in the house with no red bottom shoes.
I got enough of them. I ain't gotta buy no more. I ain't gotta buy another damn red bottom. And if I do, I go buy some fake ones from China like everybody else do. I ain't stupid no more. I ain't giving that man $700 of my money. I got enough.
So you gonna live off love?
No, we gonna live off his 85,000.
You know what? I'm from Los Angeles. That ain't shit.
What? Look. You need to move to Georgia. You need to move to Georgia and get your little $150,000 house with a 2-car garage and a deck. You can sip tea and watch the birds fly. You know, you ain't got to work. Child by. Move out of Los Angeles around them $1 million houses.
Okay. Out here, a 1,000 square foot house is $800,000.
That's y'all fault.
Just on the west side.
That's y'all fault.
We're not even talking.
And an earthquake will swallow it up tomorrow.
85,000 won't get you nothing but a damn apartment.
Well, it won't get you nothing here either. I'm saying like 150, 200. 200 for some, you know.
I mean, if you get a 150 house, I mean, your mortgage only going to be $700.
Right, that's my point. The house that I'm selling now, if anybody want to buy, I'm listing it for like 150, 160, depending on what the real estate agent come back with. But yeah, I would live there.
We talking about homes that were built in 1940.
No, this house is
$800,000 for 1,000 square feet, $800,000. And that mortgage will be $5,000 a month.
Well,
and you're not even living good. You're just living regular. So if you were able to use your 600 and his 85 just to live normal and to be in love, you wouldn't take that?
No. I add about 80. I'm not gonna exceed what he puts in.
But you're not married for money, you're married for love.
You're right. We married for love. That's why this is a moot point. The 600 G's is a moot point because it'll be in a foreign bank account, earning interest, and that's it. So somebody said, "How old are you, caller?"
Okay, I'm gonna let you go. I'm not gonna hold with you too long. But I was just trying to understand because at this age now, you know, Black women.
How old are you, caller?
We're strong. I'm 49.
Okay, so we close in age.
I'm 49. Hold on, I'm 49. I have 4 homes. Okay, that I have owned on my own. Never been married.
Okay.
And I'm African American, and I'm a registered nurse. Okay, I make a lot of money, and not only that, I own 4 properties that's also income property.
Okay. So here's the thing. I want to ask you something. So you owning 4 homes, you being, you know, a professional and all of that. If you meet a guy, would you tell him all of that? Would you disclose all of that?
No, I do say I am a nurse. I do say I'm a nurse. Mm-hmm. But I don't say what's behind it as far as the homes I own or, you know.
And that's my point. All of what you own would be a moot point. If you meet somebody and they are living at their standard of living, they ain't struggling, they got a nice house, they doing what they need to do at our age. You know what I'm saying? Why would you even mention any of that? Go ahead.
I have never been married, and I've been grinding since I've been 19, 20 years old, grinding. I mean, from school to just independent. I do have 2 kids, but I've been grinding independent for a long time, and I'm tired. And like I said, I deal with a lot of Nigerians, and their money goes to their husbands. Their husbands sometimes are nurses too, some is not, but they still. It doesn't matter. They still allow their husbands to make the money. I never understood why in my 20s and 30s, like I said. And I realized I would love to have somebody that would take my check, okay, take care of all these fucking properties, okay? As far as the plumbing, the electrical, if they can't do it, just call him and let him find somebody to do it. I'm tired. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it's not about how much he makes. It's about how much he's helping me to make my day easier.
Okay, I get that.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So all I'm saying is, even if he makes $70,000, and I'm not saying he gets to pocket his shit. No, I want him to also put in. But at the same time, I don't want to live under my means because he doesn't make what I make, and because he doesn't own what I have.
You got
so
it.
All I'm saying is, you get what I'm saying? I've been doing it by myself. I'm tired. And now I get it. I get the Nigerians letting their husbands manipulate the money. She has a Benz. He has a Range Rover. The bills are paid. Everything is on time. Mortgages are paid. Light bills and all that stuff is paid because he does it. Because all she has to do is go to work and come home and take care of the kids.
Okay.
That bill shit is not just her head.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right. And that will free you. I would love it too. I feel you on that. I do feel you on that. But you know, and I do.
I would love and it doesn't mean because, you know, I'm just not gonna live under because he doesn't make it, but I'm like, we in love.
But you have to choose the right. You have to choose the right king. You can't just submit to anybody. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
Nigerians have this king thing. And these women look at their husbands as king. Okay, and they may have deserved it too. I don't know. But as far as our men, our Black African American men in Los Angeles, it's not too many out here because we're all single parents. Majority of us are single parents. So our boys are normally raised with just the mom. So it's really hard to find a man that's going to actually kick in like he's supposed to. Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes sense. I mean, you know, and it's hard. You're right. It's hard to find a man. And that's why it's so many of us single. Zills and I
think back south, you guys have a better chance because out here, I mean, I don't think, you know, I think you make 20% of the men may be good men, and some of them came from down south and moved out here. Those are the good men that we have noticed. But the men that was raised and born here with a single mom, they ain't worth shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They don't know how to even change the oil. Like, can you change the oil? They're like, what? No, my fingers gonna get dirty.
As long as they can take it to the oil place, I don't care about them changing it. Anyway, but I appreciate your call. I really do. I understand where you're coming from, but you know, at the end of the day, I feel like the man should run the money, but I'm just a little hesitant about handing over all mine to him. I hand him over a little bit, but
not all of it, but just let him just do his part. And if he doesn't have that much, then it'll be okay. If you it's all about
let the man be the man. Exactly. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your input, my sister in spirit. All right.
All right. Nice talking to you.
Nice talking to you. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Oh, it's one more. That was supposed to be the last call. He said, but there's one more on the line. What you think, Zills? Y'all press 1 if I should take it, 2 if I should just go to bed and get this stuff off my face. 1, I should take it. Oh, y'all. Okay. 8564.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Who am I speaking with?
But when they find out who this is, they might tell you shouldn't have took it. This Monique. Or calling again. This conversation is so interesting. I'm sitting here the whole time with my face. I'm just smiling because this is just so interesting to me.
What, do you think I'm weird? Like, I had this conversation with my friends all the time.
Honestly, I actually agree with a lot of what you're saying, and I think with us today, because a lot of times what we say is, and a couple of people said it, but that's the old days. Like when you talk about your family and how long they've been married, and you know the roles of a marriage and all of that. But that's how it used to be. That's the old days. That's how it used to be. But it's like, even when the lady said about if you make $600,000 and he made $85,000, just because he started at $85,000, that don't mean he gonna stay there.
Right.
You know, sometimes it's like we look at people and we feel like, oh, you started there, so that's what he makes, so that's what we're gonna be. No, because when a man finds the right woman, he finds favor.
What you
it follows him.
Mm-hmm.
We have seen men that's with certain women, and it seems like they just don't get nowhere. To be married to one woman, and it just seems like he don't get nowhere, ain't nothing going on for him. He end up leaving that woman, they get divorced, and he get with somebody else, and like his life explodes. Things open up, good things come, better jobs, better house, better money. And it's like, well, what happened? What was this thing? Like, what's the difference between this marriage than it was in the other marriage? And I feel like it has a lot to do with the woman. And sure, everybody's not going to agree with me. But I read this old book that talks about a woman and how she wakes up early in the morning and she assigns her tasks to her maid, and how she uses her profits to plan fruitful buying, and all of these types of things. And she sells the garments that she makes. That sounds like an entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. And this is a book from over 2,000 years ago. But that sounds like a woman that was a businesswoman over 2,000 years ago. The thing about it was, though, it also says that when she speaks to her husband, she speaks with goodness and not evil. That she has a tongue that's made of wisdom and is kind. And I think that's what makes the difference with how we as women operate today. Because like the lady what she said about the $6,000, her making $600,000, she said about the woman being powerful. We are powerful just because we are women. And that's how God created.
Exactly. And that's my point. Like, I'm bringing me. You ain't got to worry about all the other stuff.
Exactly.
Forget about the houses.
Exactly.
So
exactly. If you're a boss on your job, you have to learn how to, when you get home, you got to learn how to put the boss cap down. And the reason why so many men are intimidated by women that make money, more money than him, it's not that he really have an issue, I feel. Now, this is my opinion, and everybody's not going to agree with it. It's not that he have an issue with the fact that you make money. Mm-hmm. It's because you don't know how to stop being the boss.
Yeah.
You still trying to run everything. You don't have that level of being able to submit. And submit don't mean you talk to me crazy and you treat me bad and you disrespect me.
Right.
Submit means that I understand what my duties are as your wife. Mm-hmm. And as my husband, you understand that you are my covering and you're supposed to provide for your family.
You better tell them.
So I can be an entrepreneur. I can bring money to the table, but my money should not take over my duties in my relationship to where I make him feel like who he is and what he is and what he has to offer does not matter because I'm the boss bitch, right. Like a lot of people say.
You're right. Ooh, girl. Ooh. Oh, you preaching today. Well, I appreciate you, Monique, for calling in. We
good night, because I know it's late. I'll talk to you again sometime.
Definitely. Thank you for calling. Good night. I appreciate you. Bye-bye. So, y'all really was talking tonight. I appreciate this turn from friends to relationship. This girl talk stuff ain't no joke, is it? I just wanted to say, Zills and I have had this conversation before, and I thought about this when I think it was Monique. It may have been the caller prior to Monique was talking, and somebody said, a lot of times, it's hard to find a man like all the men have kids. And then it's just interesting because Zills was telling me all the women have kids. And I'm like, well, I don't have kids. And I got like 5 friends that don't have kids. And we be complaining that at our age, it's hard to be the man that doesn't have kids. And he was saying the opposite. So I was just like, it's all in perspective. Like, you see what you see and what you notice. At the end of the day, they're out there. We just have to look, wait, be patient, be still, all of that. So see, look, a whole bunch of people don't have kids, and kids are not a deal breaker. I'm just saying, at the end of the day, don't be acting like you looking for a needle in a haystack when there are plenty of people out there who have kids, who don't have kids, all of the above. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in tonight. If you haven't already liked this video, it's 228 people in here and y'all haven't decided to like this video yet. If you haven't liked it now, like it on your way out. I appreciate y'all. Thank you to all the callers. We will do this more often. It is 1:30 almost. I didn't realize I was going to be on for an hour and 38 minutes, but I did it. I will see you guys tomorrow. If you haven't subscribed to the ATLian channel, please do so, because I'm talking more about personal stuff on this channel, talking about the gossip and celebrity stuff over on the ATLian channel. I'm trying to just separate the two. Yeah, so if you haven't already subscribed to the ATLian channel, visit straightfromtheA.com. The A Squad group on Facebook. We talk about things there too. People giving me tips on, what they want to hear on the blogs and all that jazz. So again, I appreciate you. Good night. Thank you, Zills, for moderating. Thank you. I will see you later. Bye.